Hi, Mike Savage here from Thor Motor Coach. Today we've got Adam O'Dell from Thor Motor Coach as well. Adam, how are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
Today we're going to be looking at the Four Winds Class C motorhome. Adam, why don't you tell me a little bit about what makes the Thor Motor Coach Class C Four Winds safe and strong?
Okay, glad you asked that. You know, here at Thor Motor Coach, we pride ourselves on a couple things, all right? On innovation, variety, and affordability. So rather than me sitting here talking about it, why don't I show you?
That sounds great. Let's do it.
All right.
All of our motorhomes are engineered using the best combination of aluminum, steel, and fiberglass. The walls and roof are constructed from aluminum, which provides a strong yet lightweight skeleton to support the overall house of the motorhome. Our floors are built from steel. The heavier steel construction helps lower the overall center of gravity of the motorhome, while providing an excellent platform to help insulate the interior of the RV from road noise. The insulation within the walls, roof, and floor is low-density polystyrene foam. The insulation is form-fitted to all structural areas to provide protection from the exterior elements. The sidewalls are finished in fiberglass. Large flat sheets or rolls of fiberglass are laid upon a lamination table to be prepped and bonded to the aluminum structure. A large glue applicator runs beads of adhesive every inch down the length of the structure to ensure 100% coverage. Now the lamination process takes place. The entire walls, roof, and floor are inserted into an individual lamination bed where air is removed and pressure is applied, causing the adhesive in the walls to flash, also known as vacuum bonding. This flashing permanently bonds all the layers together, providing an optimal structure to build a motorhome. With the lamination process complete, a final routing of all cutouts in the structure is performed. All openings in the walls and roof are framed in aluminum, while the floor is all framed in steel. This extra step ensures the openings are always sized correctly, so items like windows, vents, and entry doors will fit each and every time.
So Adam, here we are on the side of the camp side of the motorhome. Tell me about the storage a little bit on this Four Winds Class C motorhome.
Okay. Well, right here we're demonstrating today the 31E. This is our bunk model, okay? Now this coach here has a miraculous amount of storage. It has 52.8 cubic feet of storage.
Wow, it's a lot.
Kid you not. We're going to start right here, Mike.
Okay.
Okay, so if you take a peek
Yep.
at our first storage bin right here.
Yeah.
The beauty of this is that it has two ways to get in and two ways to get out. Okay? This is what we call our mud room. All right? What that means is on the inside, there's another door that slides open, and you can actually access it from the inside or the outside.
Wow.
So if you ever have any dirty shoes, or if you own a cat or a dog,
you could actually use this from the inside or the outside then, which is convenient if it's raining outside or whatever.
You're
Fantastic.
Right. You're right.
Fantastic.
Great feature that we have on our 31E. This is
I like
very
that.
Nice. So if you continue around to the back,
Uh-huh.
I'll show you our biggest area of storage. All right, so take a peek of this. Okay, it's all fully finished. All right, comes with an LED light inside, and this is also accessible two different ways.
Really?
Kid you not. So it's accessible from the underneath of the bed and from the outside of the coach. So if it's raining outside one night, all right, and you don't want to walk outside the coach and get wet, just lift the bed up, grab what you have to grab, and you're good to go.
Man, how convenient is that?
So you have two storage accesses that have two different ways in and out.
That's fantastic, man. It's great thinking and engineering on Thor's part. I love it.
That's what we pride ourselves on, the innovation.
So as far as we know we got storage. We talked about construction. We're feeling very good about that and solid.
Sure.
Tell me a little about the side of the motorhome. I see some stuff going on the outside. Tell me a little about the outside of the motorhome, Adam.
The outside of the motorhome is a lot to talk about. So what I'll do, I'll begin with our HD Max.
Okay.
Thor Motor Coach, we have what we call HD Max. All right, this is our own brand name for it. And what this is going to be a colored fiberglass. Okay, it's pigmented. So the color you see here, this is not paint. This is not paint. All right.
It looks like paint though.
Well, that's the key. We want to give you that full body color appearance to keep that long-lasting, beautiful look that you want for years. All right. So the beauty of this is that the color of the gel coat is this color, and it's the same color all the way through to the back side, giving you that long-lasting, beautiful-looking coach for years to come.
What if I scratch it or something? I mean, is it fixable?
Great point. Great point. It is fixable. Okay. Because the gel coat's thickness and all the way through, you can buff it out. It's like a boat.
Just like you would on a boat then.
Yep.
That's fantastic. What do we have going on here? I know there's something, this big awning type deal. What's happening with that?
So standard on the 31E, okay, and actually all of our 31-foot models, we're going to have a power awning, all right? So accessible on the inside, hit a button, comes all the way out, and therefore you have an awning and it's power. So therefore you don't need to use the pole, you're not stabilizing it, it's just a one button touch and you're good to go.
Huh, that's fantastic.
And also, for nighttime camping, if you're ever out at night, there is an LED strip that can light up with a button.
Really?
It's awesome.
So no more buying those twinkle lights that got to hang down. You've got already built into your motorhome.
You're exactly right.
That's great, man. That's great.
Isn't that cool?
Now I notice you've got a big compartment over here. I'm dying to see what's behind door number 3, I guess, on that. What
now,
do we have
Mike,
going on there?
glad you brought that up again because this is actually not storage. You into entertaining?
Yes,
you like
I
to have
love
fun?
entertaining. Tailgating, man.
Look at this.
Wow.
Outdoor entertainment
Isn't that
center.
something?
That is. And this is an option on our 31W, L, and E. Okay. So it's an option for the outside TV, and you can camp outside and have fun.
And the speakers, are those working off a radio somewhere? What's happening?
They do. Those work off the Bluetooth radio on the inside in the bedroom.
Okay.
That is not controlled to the TV. It's going to be controlled only through the bedroom.
Right. But we can have our music playing whatever we want to play. We can play off that Bluetooth then.
Sure can. So if you own a smartphone, okay, which I have, smartphone, this will work for that radio in the bedroom and play through these speakers right here.
Wow. So just sit at the campfire and change music when I want to.
Boom.
That's great. That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Thanks. Hey, let's go around to the backside now, and you can show me some of the features and benefits on the backside of the motorhome.
Okay. Sounds good.
Great.
Follow me.
So, Adam, we're on the backside of this beautiful 4Winds 31E Class C, right? You said 31E.
Bunk model.
The bunk model. And right from the get-go, I'm looking at the back, and it's the fit and finish is what you'd expect from a company like Thor Motor Coach. And I'm noticing a little something under that light back there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the start from the top, maybe work your way down a little bit, and tell me some about this motorhome.
Sure. 31 footers again. Part of the Premier package is going to be the backup camera. Okay, and if you look, it's right there below the light.
Yep.
Okay, and that's going to basically have the TV on the inside of the module in the front. That's going to show the screen itself. Okay.
So you can see cars and what traffic and things like that behind you.
Right. Well, the beauty of it is if you're going to a campground, you're getting in tight quarters. You don't necessarily have to have somebody with you to guide you. Because, I mean, literally you can point it down and you can see right to your bumper.
Wow.
It's excellent. And the viewing is great. It's very clear, precise, and I mean, you have to have
So it's safety and convenience, really, then.
Good point.
Perfect.
Good point.
Now, look, coming down from that, now I'm looking at this beautiful window right here. I don't think we've looked at some Class C's, not everybody has a window out the back like that. Tell me about the window and kind of what that can do for me.
Well, earlier I told you that we're very innovative, right? We work ourselves a lot off innovation. So what we're doing now with our Class C's and the 31 footers is that we're putting frameless windows.
Wow.
All right, what don't you see around this window?
I don't see any kind of a seal around. I mean, I see basically just the glass itself.
It's glass. So our older windows, what they would have is that rubber black seal, right?
Okay.
Now, in the elements, when it would expand and contract, what could happen?
I guess it would shrink up over time and pull away from where it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right.
So what we did, we went to this window being innovative and forward thinking, therefore eliminate that possibility, and plus, let's not forget the obvious, it looks
I mean, it looks really
awesome,
good.
Right?
It looks really high end, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
That's great. So moving from that, then
Yeah.
we have a ladder, obviously pretty self-explanatory, but tell us about that a little bit.
You know, a couple things about the ladder. Number one, this is going to be backed in EGS steel. All right, so at any point there's a screw, it's backed in electro-galvanized steel, giving you the strength and the structural integrity that you're going to need when you climb up and down this ladder.
So myself being a relatively large guy, no problem getting up and down on that ladder then?
Not at all. No, sir. Nope.
Fantastic. Then, moving down then, I noticed you got a couple things. Obviously a bumper, which is nice to have, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we've got looks like we've got a hitch coming out the back there. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so again, with that innovative thinking that we have, we are the first Class C motorhome, industry-wide, okay, to the best of my knowledge, that has an 8,000-pound hitch on the back of this Class C.
8,000 pounds.
That's right. So if you have any boat, you have a car, four-wheelers, whatever you have, rest assured that it's going to be able to tow it just fine.
Wow. And from talking about the construction earlier, we know that it's built the right way. The Moride system is built right to be able to satisfy that as well.
And that's how we have that. It's part of that.
Fantastic, man. Looks great.
Yeah.
Let's go around to the other side, maybe show some more.
Yep. Follow me.
Okay, so Adam, we've taken a look at the back of the motorhome. We've got some great features and benefits there.
Sure.
I've heard the term self-contained.
Okay.
So tell me about why this motorhome, or what self-contained means for this motorhome and the customer compared to, say, a trailer.
Good question. Okay. So earlier I mentioned that we're innovative and versatility. All right. Part of our versatility is that this is self-contained, and what that means is that the coach is fully self-contained. Where if you wanted to go dry camping, we call it, or if you want to go in the middle of nowhere, you can fully camp and utilize this coach as long as you have resources. So you don't have to have it hooked up.
Okay.
All right. Has 3 tanks. has a freshwater tank, a black tank, and a gray tank.
Okay.
Right? It also comes standard with a 4,000 watt Onan generator up front, which will provide you with 110 power.
Wow, okay. So I don't have to be plugged into anywhere
No,
then?
you can camp as long as you want, as long as you have the resources.
I gotcha. That's fantastic.
Yep.
So now that we know what self-containment means,
Sure.
what else on this motorhome, on this side of it? We've got a lot going on here.
Yeah,
Tell us,
yeah.
tell us some more about this side of the motorhome and what we have to offer here.
Okay, in lieu of being self-contained, all right, this also comes standard, all right, over here, with a 30 amp power cord. Okay, so therefore, if you're at a campground or you're at a NASCAR race where they are providing power at the campsite, you plug this in and you're good to go. You don't have to run the generator.
Ah.
Okay, you don't have to run it, which is nice. All right.
I noticed you got something, just a little something there. What's
Yeah.
going on with that there?
This here is just going to be our cable outlet. So if you're at a campground and you want to hook up your cable, you can.
Okay.
And it goes directly to the inside of the coach.
Right. Keep those kids occupied.
Got to
right?
keep them occupied.
Gotta keep them occupied.
You know how they are.
I see sewer outlet connection there. What's happening?
Yeah,
in the
this
back
is
there?
one of my favorite things about our 31-foot classy motorhomes. I'm really excited to announce about this too, is that all of this is fully enclosed. Okay, so your black and gray tank are fully enclosed in here and all your dump stations, all right?
So these are those tanks you were talking
Yeah.
about before then?
Exactly, these are right here, all right? There is a opening at the bottom where
Okay.
your black and tay sewer can actually fold down into,
Okay.
and then it will come below, and that's the part you put in the ground,
Ah, okay.
okay? You have a black tank flush here and a gray tank, all right? And it also comes standard with an actual, we call it a Santee flush, but it basically is a black tank flush system. So what that means is you hook up a hose directly to this, it'll clean out that black tank and loosen everything up for you.
Wow, okay, so it's convenient that way for you too. It keeps
very convenient.
very convenient. Fantastic.
And it can all be closed up, and Mama don't have to look at it. 'Cause, I mean, some of the coaches, you know, when it's down, it has to be outside, but having the hole there makes it so much cleaner.
Yeah, it just gives it
Oh,
a much
my
nicer
goodness.
appearance on that, but it's probably cleaner as well
It
from
is.
that standpoint.
It's more sanitary too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So moving down the coach, then I notice we've got some other compartments here. Why don't you kind of go through those for me and show me
Yeah.
what we've got going?
What we have on this coach here is an outside shower. Okay. The beauty of this outside shower is that it provides you with hot water and cold water.
Wow.
All right. And it's on the opposite camping side of the coach. So therefore, all the sand, rocks, and dirt you may get on that side, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So the innovative thinking. Remember I told you that? We're very innovative. So we want to think about those things because we feel what the camper wants, or what they need or want. We understand that.
Right.
And that's what we put on this side. Okay?
Fantastic. What do we have next here? I see city water connection. Explain that to me.
Yeah, so in lieu of dry camping or being that it is self-contained, okay, if you do want to go to a campground, which you probably will, this is where you hook up your hose and have a constant city water flow, all right, and bypass your freshwater tank.
Ah, got you. So then, if we don't have a city water connection though like that, and we're out dry camping, say I'm at the racetrack or at the beach, what do I have? What can I do then?
Well, then you just have the fresh tank,
Okay.
and that will provide you with the water that you will need while you're camping.
Right. So you still have full
Yeah.
fresh water
Yeah.
even if I'm not hooked
That's
up
right.
to a city connection. That's
Yep.
fantastic. Okay, so we just went over the city water connection. Adam, what else do we have working here then? Let's see this compartment here.
Okay, so standard with all 4-winds models, we're using a 6-gallon water heater, which is
Okay.
gas and electric.
Okay. What's that going to do for me?
Basically, what that means is that you can run this off the gas or your electric power. Okay, so being that it is a 6-gallon, this is a high productive 6-gallon water heater, which
Okay.
means that it can produce 17.8 gallons per hour if you run gas and electric.
Wow. So it's not so much the size of the tank; it's how
No.
much
It's
how much water per hour I can recover.
That's
Then.
right. You got
Gotcha.
it. Yes, sir. Yep.
Fantastic. Now, moving down, I noticed the big long slide
Yeah.
in this one too. What do I have on the top? I mean, it looks like it's an awning of some sort.
Sure.
What's that going to do for me when I'm camping?
What that is, all right, with all 4-winds motorhomes that have a slide out, okay, this comes standard. It's a slide out cover.
Okay.
What that does for you, it will basically eliminate any debris that comes from trees or certain campgrounds or whatever from getting in the top of your slide out.
Right, which
It
is
sits on the top. When you roll it in, it just rolls right off and falls to the ground.
which is a nice another convenience feature.
And that
also
is
for
standard
it. That's
on our
standard on our
coaches.
motor.
That's
That's a
right.
big awning. That's great to have that. That's
Yep.
fantastic. Okay, so we're moving down. What else do I have here then? What else
Yeah.
do we have going on here then?
So again, part of that 52 cubic feet of storage on the 31-foot bunk model, we're gonna have another huge storage bin
Wow,
here.
that's a nice size one there, isn't it?
And again, this is gonna be the Rotocast.
Yep.
All right, so you can wash it out. It's easy to clean. It's not gonna rot, mold, or mildew.
Yep.
Okay. And plus, it adds a little bit of insulation value.
That's nice. You know, also I noticed too, I just noticed this, that the door flips down though, right?
Oh, good point, Mike.
So that's obviously better than
That is
trying
a
to
great
hold the door.
point.
I've seen other coaches holding that door up, that works better too.
Well,
as well.
and you're right, because if the slide is out, it's even harder to get underneath it.
Get underneath there and hold it up.
So therefore, by flipping it down, you're exactly right, Mike. Yep, it makes it much easier to access your storage compartment.
That's great.
Yep,
Now this one here looks like it does flip up. So what's
It does flip
So what's
up.
happening there then?
All right, so earlier we talked about self-containment, right?
Yep.
Well, this is going to be your 4,000 watt Onan generator. Okay, this will provide you with 110 power throughout the entire coach, and it runs directly off the fuel tank provided by Ford.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. How quiet is that? I mean,
It's pretty quiet.
Is it pretty quiet?
And if you notice where the location is,
Yeah.
where's your bed?
Yeah, it's in the back side there, right?
So again, with that forward thinking and being innovative, as part of Thor Motor Coach, we want to make sure that when you're sleeping, the generator is farthest point away from the bed itself.
Makes sense, right?
Right.
Fantastic. Let's go around the front of the motor and then you can talk about the front a little
Yeah,
bit for me.
sounds
okay?
good.
Okay,
Follow
thanks.
me.
So Adam, we're almost all the way around to the front now. Why don't we start and tell me a little bit about the front of the motorhome, starting from the kind of the top to the bottom, this overhead sleeping area.
Yeah, it is. You know, as part of our Premier package,
Yeah.
okay, on the 31L W and E, all right, it's going to come standard with a wraparound one-piece marine grade fiberglass Joe Coat front cap.
Wow.
Beauty of this is that the seam is not going to be on the front of the coach. All right, it's wrapped around, giving it a full one-piece look. You know, that's what you want. You want that one piece.
It does look great. I'm not gonna. It looks fantastic.
Less seams equal less chances to leak.
That's a great point. So moving down, then I notice you've got the big valve. It says Valvac right here.
Yeah.
Big Valvac mirrors
That's
on the
right.
side.
Very high-end feature.
Okay.
The Velvac mirrors have a couple nice features. Number one, okay, they're going to break away. All right, so if you get in a tight situation where if it does happen to hit something, it just breaks right away. All right, and they're easy to adjust.
Okay.
Okay. There's also going to be a side camera mounted on the side of this.
Okay.
All right, that way when you're driving down the road, if you happen to, you have a blind spot, right? Okay, by engaging the turn signal left or right, it'll engage the camera. Then in turn, that beams a camera shot all the way down the angle, and it
kidding.
shows inside on the screen. Okay.
That's a great safety feature, man. That'll make my wife very happy to know that she's got that in case she's driving at some point too. She'd feel much more secure as well.
Now, Mike, what do you notice about the location of it?
Well, I noticed one that it's not attached to the to the body of the motorhome anywhere.
Exactly. Okay. So when you attach it to the side, two things happen. Number one, all right, it's going to have a lower visibility angle, so you can't see as much.
Right.
Number two, in the case of a heavy snowstorm or if it's raining outside and you can't see the camera, you can roll the window down and wipe the camera off, therefore giving you visibility when you can't see.
Wow, that's great. That's two great feature benefits of that, having the camera mounted on
that's
the
why it's
actual
much
mirror
better to always
itself.
have it on the side, on the mirror itself.
That's great. So I also noticed looking down that you've also got some kind of running board, a step-in style there.
Yeah.
That's going to be great for people to get in and out of the motorhome, easy egress in and out too as well.
These are full aluminum running boards, which is nice because they can't, what?
They can't rust,
They
I guess.
can't rust. One of the a big key thing is not to have any rust in your motorhome. So by having those aluminum, they can't rust, and they're going to last a long time.
That's fantastic. Well, Adam, great job on the outside of the motorhome. If you don't mind, if you got some more time, let's get inside and take a look then, huh? All right,
Follow me, Mike.
fantastic.
Come on.
So Adam, first thing I'm noticing here is there's no step coming out. I feel like I'm missing something.
No, Mike, you're not missing something. What we do here at Thor Motor Coach with our Class Cs is that we actually have a fully integrated steel step well. The benefit of that is that it's one less thing to remember. The old steps would come out, they'd go in and out. That's so you'd have to remember it because going down the road, keeping your step out, you could do what?
I don't know, it might stay out or you could trip over or whatever, any of that stuff.
Sure, so it's one less thing to remember and one less thing to break.
That's fantastic also.
So, which is very nice.
So we talked about the mudroom. I remember the mudroom we talked about. I see right there you've got a little, another.
This is the mudroom, so it's accessible again from two ways. Okay, so if you have any issues with muddy feet or whatever you want to do, just throw your shoes in there and you're good to go.
You know, it just makes sense though, doesn't it, for someone who's going to be, if it's raining outside and they need access to that compartment.
And again, it's accessible from two different points.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That's fantastic.
Just like the bedroom and the back storage.
I'm excited to get in this thing and take a look.
You ready?
Let's rock it.
You ready? Let's
All
roll.
right, let's go.
Come on.
So Adam, here we are sitting in the cockpit of this Ford 31E Class C 4-winds. A lot going on. Tell me a little bit about the chassis itself and what that can do for my family and me.
It's a good question. You know, with the innovation in Thor Motor Coach, all right, we pride ourselves on that. So we teamed up with Ford, and we're using the E450 platform, all right? And that's standard on the 31L, W, and E, all right? It's going to give you 14,500 pounds of gross vehicle weight rating.
Okay.
All right, the engine's a V10, all right? It provides about 305 horsepower and gives you 420 foot-pounds of torque.
Well, that's not bad. That's good for getting up hills then, I take it then?
Absolutely. And I mean, it also is if you're towing something. Remember I told you it has how much?
8,000 pounds?
8,000 pound hitch. That's
Okay.
gonna obviously play hand in hand with that.
That's fantastic. So, tell me about some of the safety features also. I know that, safety is a big thing nowadays.
It is.
Tell me about some safety things with what's going on with the Ford chassis.
Yeah, so a couple things I'll point out. Number one being that this is an E450 van chassis. All right, it's going to be all up to OEM spec.
Okay.
All right, so it's going to have the airbag in the steering wheel and the passenger side airbag. And that's going to be standard. Also comes with seatbelt harnesses that are also OEM.
Okay,
And
so
they're three.
for that 3-point harness
That's
thing
right.
going on there.
All right.
And I did notice, Adam, that we do have the mirrors.
Yeah.
Those big power sail, or whatever you want to call them, mirrors we
Yeah.
have on the side there, right?
Right.
And with the side vision cameras.
Exactly. And also with the side vision cameras, if you get that option, because it's an option on all of our Class C motorhomes,
Okay.
is that they're going to come heated and power.
Oh, fantastic. So, Adam, one question I have for you is navigation. My wife and I, we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, obviously, in the motorhome with the family. What can the 31E from Ford Winds offer me from a navigation standpoint?
Glad you brought that up. Again, so from that innovation standpoint that we talked about earlier, we have decided to go away from putting the navigation inside the screen. Okay, so what we're doing is we are actually hooking up an HDMI cord and a USB charger. Okay, so what that does is if you have a smartphone,
Yes.
which most of our clients nowadays do, and they actually prefer to use their smartphone for their navigation because it's easier. All right, so if you hook up your HDMI cord to this, you can hook it up right up there, and it has what's called a mirroring mode. All right, so it will actually take the image from your phone and put it on the actual screen.
So there you go.
So in essence, you actually do have navigation on the screen. Plus, you don't have to update it once a year.
I was going to say that's
Yep.
your phone's constantly updating. Where if you
Every
had it
single
there,
day.
it may not do that.
That's exactly right.
That's great. So I noticed this is a Ford chassis. Obviously, is the Ford chassis? That's the chassis of choice then, or what's?
Yeah, it is. However, we have taken it really a step further. All
Okay.
right, we've teamed up with a company called Moride, okay, locally here. And Moride is a quality vehicle modifier, and they do all of our upfits to the highest certification. They're just a great company.
Tell me some more about that.
At Thor Motor Coach, we build many of the world's most recognized brands of motorhomes. To make sure your new motorhome is the perfect fit for you and your family, our engineers work with Moride International, the leader in chassis modification, to design and construct the foundation for your motorhome. Moride provides the steel assembly that makes up the basement storage and support structure of the motorhome. Raw chassis come to us from leading chassis builders like Ford, Chevrolet, Freightliner, and Mercedes-Benz. Computer-aided design models allow Thor Motor Coach engineers to provide Moride all the information needed to make the perfect parts for each chassis. A specialized steel cutting and forming process is used for each individual part. The use of these metal forming machines help create consistency throughout the build. Many chassis need to be modified based on the floor plan of the motorhome. These chassis will be stretched to provide the optimum combination of storage and drivability. Steel C-channels are welded in place to provide strength and rigidity. The lengthening of the chassis requires a modified drive line. New drive shafts connect to the transmission and rear differential. Specialized machines are used to create the correct drive angles and balance the new drive shafts before being installed on the unit. Steel cross members make up the largest section of the structure, spanning horizontally from side to side over the main frame rails. These cross members support the floor of the coach while evenly spreading the weight of the coach for better stability while driving. With the newly formed structure in place, the chassis is brought in for painting to protect the raw steel from the elements. This special paint is formulated to help inhibit rust and corrosion. Special attention is spent to ensure only the steel structure is painted, leaving all of the automotive components with the standard coating provided by the chassis manufacturer. Even though you can't see what is beneath the beauty of the motorhome, you can be certain Thor Motor Coach and Moride International have created a strong foundation meant to stand the test of time.
That's great stuff about Moride, man. Very impressive. Can you show me some more of the motorhome on the backside? Let's take a look back here and see what we have going.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Adam, nice big interior, nice
Yeah.
roomy interior. Talk about, and also there's a lot of light inside. Tell me
Yeah.
about what's happening there a little bit.
Good question, Mike. I'm glad that you brought that up because as part of our Premier package, being in our 31-foot models with the L, the E, and the W, we're doing a dual row recessed LED lighting.
It's very
Right?
nice.
So the benefit of that, Mike, is that number one, it's brighter, like you said. But number two, it uses less energy. No shadows. And plus, it's what people want. I mean, this is a high-end residential feature.
It's got a high-end look to it for
It does.
sure. So moving down, then I noticed you've got quite a bit of storage in this. It's actually very, very roomy, but you still got a lot of storage.
You do. There's a ton of storage, and the nice part about these cabinets is, this is going to be our cherry, okay?
Okay.
And if you notice, all the cabinetry on the top is raised panel. So again,
notice
as
that.
part of that innovative thinking that we have and that Premier package, we're going to use raised panel cabinetry throughout on the 31-foot models.
And I do notice they raise up, obviously, again, so
Yeah.
you've got easy access inside of them as well with the struts on there. Wonderful. Very nice. So, I noticed something else. Big windows. You know,
Huge
lots
windows.
of light coming in,
Yes.
which is great in the daytime, but at night when we're wanting to shut things down, what do I do in that case then?
So in that case, we have what we call roller shades. Okay, they're a slow rise roller shade that you just bring them down, all right?
Okay.
And it blocks all the light from coming in or out.
For sure.
All right, when you're done, you just one slight tug and they go right up. They're great. It's a high-end feature that we
Super
just started
nice,
doing, and people are just craving about it. They love it.
And that is a nice feature. Tell me about the furniture. It looks very comfortable to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. All the leatherette's going to match. Okay, it's going to be a dual-tone leatherette. This is also going to be a bed which comes down.
Wow.
Okay? The beauty of this bed, I've worked a lot of shows, Mike, where I've demoed this bed, and when I pull it out, these armrests remove. All right. So what I typically do and show at certain shows, I'll remove that one. I keep that one on as a pillow, and then your feet can hang off if you're tall.
So if you're a taller
And
person.
it's still very, very comfortable.
Wow,
So it's a hidden feature.
It
that
looks
we,
very comfortable.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is.
You know, another thing I'm noticing too, just looking at them, is linoleum all the way throughout the entire coach here. That's something I know that my wife would appreciate. I know she'd like that. Easy for cleanup and things like that.
It is. This is going to be our vinyl floor, and the beauty of this stuff is that there is no seams. Okay, so it's all one piece. All right. Also, we put it to the edge of our floor. So the benefit of that is we're not cutting around furniture and adding extra shoe molding or, you know, any type of thing to cover up any type of inconsistencies because we put it on top of it.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Right, so it can't curl up, and it looks amazing too.
You know, I'm looking down here at the dinette. Very nice, comfortable looking dinette. And I bet in that storage down there.
That is full storage. Yes, sir. It comes all the way out, which is nice, you know.
Wow.
And on all of our cabinets and drawers in this entire coach, we're using full roller ball bearing door guides.
Which are good and strong, obviously.
I don't have that in my home.
Right. Okay.
Very, very nice.
So this obviously, this makes into a bed here. We come on this side here, you've got your dinette, which obviously looks very roomy and it looks comfortable. Does this make into a bed also
It
then?
sure does, Mike. It does. So in addition to that bed there, this is what we call a dream dinette.
Okay.
So the dream dinette, you basically have one small latch below, you move it, and you push that down. It goes down, you redo the latch, and the cushions will go on top of that, and that's your bed.
So you've got above the cab sleeping, the sofa here and the dinette,
here.
and then the bunks and the bed, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, and one question I have for you is, how do I control all this stuff? I mean, what do I do to, you know, the slide outs and everything going on? How do I control all that stuff?
Good question. With all the versatility like I talked about and innovation, let me show you our electric management system.
Great.
Follow me. Mike, now here we have the energy management system, all right? Now again, I talked about the innovation, right? So what we're doing with Thor Motor Coach and the 4 Winds products is putting all of the energy stuff in one area. So it's high enough to where small kids can't reach it, but low enough to where any adult can reach it.
Right.
Okay, which is a huge thing.
Absolutely.
So I'll start here with the control panel, which will have the generator button. Okay, so you can start and stop it. That's the ONN 4000. You're going to have your slide out button here, all right, which comes in and out. It's very simple. You have your black tank heaters, okay, and your gray tank heater, okay, on and off switch. You have your water pump and then the water heater buttons. So I told you outside that you have gas and electric.
Remember that.
All right, so there's an individual switch for each one of those, okay, which is nice.
I notice also, not to cut you short,
No, no worries.
but I notice you've got, you know, obviously this looks to me like it's an air conditioning and heater unit.
It is.
But this above here looks a little bit different to me. What are we going for there?
So with our 31W and 31E, okay, any Class C that has a full wall slide, jacks are going to be standard with that coach. Okay, so these are full hydraulic leveling system.
You don't see that all the time on Class Cs though, right? I mean, you see it on some others, but not on Class Cs very often.
You typically don't. No,
Right.
not at all. It's a great feature to have, but it's going to keep the coach from wobbling. It keeps it stable.
Right.
And it's a feature that everybody wants.
Right,
You
exactly.
got to have that. So which brings me over to this thing. Okay, this is what we call our Rapid Camp system. Okay, Rapid Camp. Actually, rather than me telling you about it, let me show you a video.
Yeah, please. So, Adam, I also noticed, just looking up, I'm seeing it says charging center up there. What's going on with that?
Well, that's going to be our USB charging center. Now, the beauty of that is there's 4 ports, so you can charge any type of smartphone or any type of tablet that you have. Okay. And the nice thing is there's an extra storage compartment here with a circular hole for the wires to come in and out of. Right. Therefore, you store the tablet or smartphone in there. Cord comes through there, plugs in, and you can shut it, and it's out of your way. Very
convenient and out of the way, right? Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Now, why don't you show me the galley? I want to see what's going on with the galley of this motorhome.
Okay, perfect.
So, Adam, I'm looking at this galley, beautiful, big galley in here. Tell me about this. Tell me a little bit about the galley.
Mike, I got to be honest. This is one of my favorite parts about this coach, and I'm super excited to show you.
Great.
Okay, so I call this our chef's kitchen. All right, the reason why I call it that because it has that triangle that you need, that you see in a lot of high-end homes. Yeah. Okay, you have the fridge behind you. All right, you're also going to have the sink and then the oven there. So you have a great working area. Okay. Now, as part of our Premier package on our 31L, E, and W, you're going to get a couple things that the other models don't have. Okay. Solid surface countertop.
I noticed that. That's beautiful.
All right, with custom-built sink covers that match the countertop.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, that's going to do what for you?
Wow, it's going to give you more space to use in the kitchen.
Exactly.
More countertop space.
Because one thing you can never have enough of is
countertop space, and it's always at a premium, especially in a motorhome, I would imagine.
And it's all about that innovative thinking that I keep talking about, because we feel we're very innovative, and this is the type of thing that customers are asking for. So when they're asking for it, we want to provide that. You know,
too, I noticed though that the faucet too, though, Adam, it looks residential to me.
Yeah.
It's a big faucet.
It's a huge faucet. I mean, this is going to be very high end, and it's also detachable.
Yeah.
All right, so you can hit any spot on the entire sink. Doesn't matter.
And looks great too.
Looks amazing.
What else do you have?
Couple things. The backsplash is new this year.
I like that.
Okay, it's a very, very high-end mirror backsplash, all right, which is nice. You're going to have an actual 3-burner stovetop with an oven.
Wow.
All right.
That's great.
And you're going to get a real 30-inch microwave above the range.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now and looking at some of the competition. Yep. That definitely is a large microwave. That's great.
Sure it is. So when you combine the solid surface, the shiny new faucet, the backsplash, the 30-inch range with the mirrors, I mean, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest looks that we've ever had.
No doubt. It's a beautiful and spacious
kitchen.
Incredible. Hey, so now we've done the kitchen now. Show me some more about the back part of it, because I'm excited to see the back part of the motorhome.
Absolutely. Follow me, I'll show you. Okay, so in our 31E, this is going to be our bunk bed model. Here showcased the 2 bunk beds. All right, so you have the bunk up top, the bunk below, and one unique thing that we're doing is we're putting a window in each bunk, and then we're also putting a light. So not only can the kids see, but they can also have ventilation if they choose to. Okay, now that we're in the back bedroom of our 31E bunkhouse model, I'm super excited to show you guys how much storage there is back here. One thing you can never get enough of is storage. So first and foremost, we do have a TV back here, okay, with storage behind it. So it flips up. All right. We also have storage below, which is nice. We have storage here, another drawer there, another drawer here, and another drawer here. All right. So you can use those for your socks, shirts, whatever you need. It's not all yet. More here, another drawer there, and then last but not least, the wardrobe. So again, this is our 31-foot bunkhouse model with all this extra storage for mom and dad. Okay, let's move to the bedside. Okay, so if you notice over the bed itself, there's going to be what? More storage. So again, in this 31-foot model, there is an enormous amount of storage that we have. Last but not least, also by the bed, you're going to have an AM/FM radio. And that's not just any AM/FM radio. This radio also has Bluetooth capability. So you hook up your Bluetooth, and the speakers on this are actually going to be inside the coach and outside the coach.
Hey folks, so there you have it. 31E, 4 Winds Class C motorhome. Adam, thank you very much for giving that full walk around on that coach. Mike. I learned a lot.
Thanks for having me. If you want any more information on our 4 Winds motorhomes or any other brand that we carry, come to our website at thormotorcoach.com.